Good morning, YouTube. This is Dan with Comic RC here. It has been a good minute since I have put any videos out. We moved into a new home and we've had a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, today's gonna be slightly different video as far as vehicle-wise that I'm putting out. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So I went ahead and picked up an Axial SCX6, and granted, in stock form it's very, very good, but I can never leave good enough alone. So one of the first things I went ahead and did, I got rid of these stock wheels and tires, and there's my Rosie going crazy with the wind chime, and I threw on some Injora bronze 3-piece wheels with the Proline Hyrax tire and the Proline dual stage foams inside of it. So I've got those front and rear. And this body, sure, it looks cool, it looks scale, but I am not a Jeep guy. So no, we're gonna take this off. If anyone wants to buy that, for sale. It works, all the lights, good. But I went ahead and changed a lot of stuff in here. First thing you'll notice, I have the Vitavon single speed transmission. So, and the skid down here. So I'll show you guys the skid. Vitavon 7075. This thing's pretty awesome. I like it. Not do I like it over the stock trans, but I do like it because it's going to hold more power, because I do have the Black Jacket 860 kV 8S motor with a 15 tooth, which is the smallest tooth pinion that you can put in this transmission. 5 mil mod 1.5 gears, mod 1.5, whatnot inside. And I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna give me crap because I don't like Castle, but when I contacted Three Brothers RC, they did recommend that since this is a 14-pole motor, that the Mamba Monster X 6S and 8S or the XLX2 ESC is gonna run this motor better than a Hobby Wing, because Hobby Wings really don't do great with high pole motors, and this is a 14-pole motor. So yeah, that's a lot of poles. And since the motor is very stubby, I went ahead and threw a Game Changer RC fan with the motor mount that Vitavon actually supplies. So I went ahead and threw this in here because this motor does get very, very warm. And I do have my ESC on very, very mild settings, pretty much what Three Brothers recommended as far as settings. So I went with what they have, and she gets very, very warm, even on a 15 tooth. So I had to cool it down just a little bit. So I have it direct flow in here. It does keep the temps down quite a bit. The ESC kept going into thermal, not the ESC itself, but since this is a censored motor, it was telling me that the motor was hitting 190, 196 with my temp gun. So, I have the Dynamite temp gun. So I would say it's fairly reliable, even though the external temperatures of the casing were showing about 120 to 130. It was telling me that the inside of the motor was getting up to almost 200 degrees. So I decided to throw Game Changer fan on it, and it does help, actually quite a bit. But going on, I do have the high-tech D845WP servo, which is the servo I use in my DBXLE I use it in my Creighton, my Outcast. Pretty much all my big rig vehicles are using this. Never had a problem with them. So I do have forgot what the Trial knuckles, and then I have the Trial diff cover, so Trial knuckles on that side. Stock shocks. I do have the RC Lions shock towers. They're metal now, front and rear. And on this, I am running the Z 8000 milliamp 4S 100C lipos. They're pretty good. You'll see I have a lipo back here. This is for my fan, which, if I go ahead and turn it on, it's pretty much the same fan I was running in my Creighton before I started making my own fans. I just had this one laying around here. But got the accessory post kits because I swapped off that Jeep body, because like I said, I'm not a Jeep guy. That thing weighs like 5 pounds by itself and makes a high tumble over rate, and I don't like that. So what I ended up going with is this body, and this body looks so much better. Sorry, the girlfriend's cooking right now. This body looks so much better, and it has less of a rollover rate as far as that one. Granted, I lose my lights and stuff, but I don't need lights. You'll see the markings on here because that's the paint scheme that I'm going to end up going with. But I'm going to cut it over to me actually running it in the front yard. I haven't had a chance to really go out and bash or go to anywhere to run my RCs lately. I've been out of town. I'm actually going out of town again for work, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut over to that. All right, so this is it in its race mode. It's got tons of torque. Still a little bit of crawlability. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. Full throttle. I'll take a speed test later. That's full throttle. All right, and then when I flip my channel 3, it activates dig brake. Still goes fast, and when I release it, applies the dig. Best part about it, barely tapping the like it's got tons of torque. It's not as high as I was thinking on 8S, but this is the Vitavon transmission and belly pan with the Black Jacket 860 kV, running 2 4S lipos in series, stock rear diff, stock front diff. As far as fluid and gears, do have the high-tech D845 WP servo, stock links in front, stock shocks, trim down the skid plates on the side to fit my body, and then I do have the Castle Mamba Monster X8S, and I did have to put a, sorry it's gonna be loud, why am I forgetting? Game Changer RC fan to keep the temps down, because she gets very, very warm. Right now I'd say she's about in the 120s. I can still touch it, but when I'm in race mode on my controller, she gets to about 140-ish very quickly and probably about stays there. But I'm running a 3S LiPo for the fan by itself. Sorry, I have a car coming. But yeah, she's a badass rig. Got the Injora 2.9s, copper, brass beadlocks with the Pro line, Hyrax 2.9s. Not done with her yet, but she'll be dope as fuck. Yeah, guys, that was the run. Just a quick little pulls up and down the street with my SCX6 here. Like I said, she's an awesome vehicle. I'm gonna be doing a lot more to her. And Bree, hey, don't show teeth. My dogs, they're both old name. Anyway, so I'm gonna be doing a lot more to her. I've only had this about a week and a half. I had ordered all the Jolcifer, get out of there. Hold on. That's not your food. That is not your food. Stop. Go ahead, Bree. Sorry about that, guys. Dealing with a husky is worse than having children. But I'm gonna be doing a lot more to her. I've only had it about a week and a half. I bought all the parts beforehand, before I even got a hold of the vehicle. I found someone who was wanting to sell it. We came up with a price, and I couldn't pass the deal up. It was one heck of a deal. But yeah, stay tuned if you guys want to see me actually take this beast out and actually give her some help. So just remember, guys, build it, bash it, break it, and repeat. Have a good one, guys.